We're back up here at Fort Howard, Kentucky, at the Flute Festival, last day of it. We decided we would come up here after church and everything and catch them there when they're doing their flute thing. And the rain, I thought it was going to be a problem there, but it rained a little bit at the house and here too. Before we got here, but it still looks like rain, as you can see all around me. Everything, but yeah, we're here to catch the last little bit of it there. Anyway, I wanted to do some footage so I can have something to put together there for a video later on. And yeah, kind of enjoying this Memorial Day weekend and a little bit. Get away from the house. I didn't want to broadcast that I was going to be away from the house on Facebook because, you don't want nobody to know that you're gone. But I'm not worried about that too much. I got pretty good neighbors that watch things. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit, but yeah, I'm here at Harrisburg, Fort Howard, and for the Flute Festival. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm going to flip back around to the other side so y'all won't be looking at my ugly face for the next little bit. So I'll try to catch you as you're in there. Homestead, I didn't call the meeting, but I just thought I would call one. It's a meeting of the minds, Homestead. Meeting of the minds. But how you doing there, Homestead? You doing okay? I see you tonight. I see you right now. I fixed my phone where I can see my screen a little better. So that made a difference, didn't it? Yeah, that made a difference. Let me flip right around to the other side. Let y'all see what's going on. That's good there. I'm glad of that. I'm glad of that. Sure am. As you can see, we're here checking out the Flute Festival.
On Friday, so God bless you all. So much love. We just sat in the rain. On Friday, I think we had 120 some people come out. That's what Jill told me.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that a bit. You ain't gonna make me look.
We always want to do stuff for our veterans.
That's the
and a lot of people don't know what
actors there at the fort.
The people that
and everything.
came home.
Come back.
It's sad because a lot of people have no idea what Memorial Day is.
Yeah, I like listening to the flute, Indian flutes and stuff. This angle ain't too good, but yeah, it's a pretty good little outfit here. They don't charge for anybody coming up here and looking at it and checking the festival out. And it's just something to do, just something to do. And everything. As y'all know, that's the Pioneer Cemetery right there. We'll kind of walk down here a little bit and check things out. Pioneer Cemetery. That's the other half of it. And everything. I come up here quite often, so I pretty much know everything it is, every nook and cranny just about. Every nook and cranny. It's close to home, probably about 25 miles from home, something like that, give or take. But something to do when you're bored and everything. That grinding wheel circa 1790. That's where that grinding mill rock come from. But yeah, they redone this section of the cemetery. Redone the tops on the stones there and everything. Got a little new monument right there and everything. Looking good, looking good. Try to zoom back out so y'all can catch the whole thing. Yeah, these are Patrick Jordan, Corporal, Kentucky Volunteers, Indian War, 1749. He died in September the 1st of 1824. Yeah. James Ray, Captain, Virginia Militia, Revolutionary War, 1758, 1810. That's just a few of the markers there. It's interesting to look at your history and see where you've been and where you're heading. It's just a marker with different names in it in honor, and I'll read it to you what it says: in honor and commemorate the men who fought in the American Revolution and sleep in Mercer County, Kentucky. And it's got several names there. One of them's Colonel Ben F. Logan. Let's see if there's any more familiar names that I'll see in there. I don't see, oh, it's a bunch. I ain't gonna read them all, but maybe y'all can make them out. But that's interesting. But yeah, places like that, you know, we gotta know our history, otherwise we won't know where we're headed to, And this Memorial Day, we should be remembering those who gave their life so we can have the freedoms we got right now. So many people take that for granted and on a daily basis, and we should be remembering this every day instead of just one day out of the year. These people here in this cemetery that's resting, they made Kentucky, and they made basically they helped make the country what it is, in one form or another. If they didn't do what they had done and sacrifice what they sacrificed, we wouldn't be where we're at right now, people. I'm telling you, we would not be where we're at. And the older generation, we understand that, but this message is to the younger generation coming up. They don't know this stuff, and if I can do anything to help that situation, I'm going to do it, because I feel like it's my duty to do so. But hello there, JTK. Yeah, appreciate you coming in there, visiting it there on this live here. This little pop-up live that everybody knows that old Goblin, he likes putting up in pop-up lives every once in a while. I keep everybody on their toes so they'll be paying attention to old Goblin. Yeah. But, you know, Memorial Day, we should, it actually, if you look at the history of Memorial Day, it was actually made to remember those who died in the war. Not everybody, but as time progressed, they said, hey, we need to remember everyone, you know, whether they died in service or not in the military. And then it progressed from that to, hey, we need to remember everyone who's passed on, you know, which, you know, I'm not distinguishing one from another, you understand, but it's something we should be doing every day. You know, take 2-3 minutes just to look around and think about what you got and how it got there and the freedoms we have in this country that unfortunately no other country has the freedoms we do. And we're a young country coming up on 250 years. This 4th of July we'll be celebrating it, and I think it's appropriate to understand that this country wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for those in this cemetery right here and other cemeteries, but especially this one, that founded this country. You know, it was a rough time back then. When they founded this area here, it was rough. I can only imagine. And you know, there's very few people I know today that would be able to survive that type of situation back then. There'd be a few, but not many. We're too soft. We're too soft for the most part. But yeah, I'm done rambling now. But we're gonna. What are we doing here? I don't see what they're doing. Oh, they're just playing some music. There ain't nobody doing anything. They're just playing music. There goes a settler. Let me catch him there. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. He's down that way. I'm trying to catch that pioneer settler. But anyway, this is a great time. You know, Native Americans, they were here before we got here. I know here in Kentucky, we had our bouts with them when we tried to settle this area. But, you know, you got to look at it one way, well, both ways, really. We was coming into their territory, and they didn't understand, I guess, we was invading their area, you know. That's only natural. But anyway, we did have a whole lot of problems with them, but that we shouldn't hold that against them today. You know, they're very much Americans like we are, and it's time we understand that, black or white, brown, as long as they understand the flag and what this country stands for and are willing to give their lives for it, then I do believe that in my heart that they are Americans, in my book. You know, it's them suckers that come to this country for a free ride, that don't care at all about this country, and they are the ones who, you know, need to be taught what the history is. But yeah, it kind of looks like rain again. It's the bellowing back there towards the west, looks like. But yeah. Let me walk down here just a second. There's a trash can up that way. Alright. Yeah. I would go into the fort there a little bit. It's free, but I done been in there so many times. But I will be doing a live inside the fort in the future. So we'll be planning for that. We'll walk up here a little bit and kind of get a closer look at things. How things are put together. This is not the original site of the fort. The original site was towards that way just a little bit. But this is, you know, a pretty good representation of what it was, what the fort looked like. It's got a very good history. Very much of a history for the opening of Kentucky, and there's a lot of history that went on here. George Rogers Clark made this fort his headquarters there for a long time there, and stayed here for a while. And Daniel Boone has been here. If you catch some of my videos that I got out there about the history of things, and I think I got a couple of videos that tells about that. But anyway, let's see who we still got on there. Yeah, I try to share things out with people that, you know, with the world. You know, it ain't about me. I could care less about me. You know, I do the best I can. Oh, right here. It says right here, it says, what's it say there? Let me move some of this grass out of the way. Here on Kentucky Bluegrass, stood Franklin Delano Roosevelt, 32nd President of the United States, November 16th, 1934, while dedicating the federal monument, which is right there. That's the federal monument. That's the federal monument. Delano Roosevelt stood right there at that exact spot. You know what? I've been walking through here and never did notice that until I walked through here. So one time I've walked right through in this area several times, never did notice that. And it's hard to, I guess it's easy to overlook, but yeah. There's an old orange tree right down that way that is very, very old. And kids play on it and everything. They play, you can see it there. Let me zoom up a little bit. You can see them down there playing on it. A big old orange tree is what they call it. But yeah. But yeah, there's the federal monument. Boy, it looks like it's going to fix to pour down here in a minute. I might get a shower whether I want one or not here in a few minutes. I'm liable to get a shower. Ain't no doubt about it, Homestead. Probably will get a shower. But we'll walk up here and kind of take a little bit better gander at this. I like sharing things out to people. Like I said, it ain't about me. That's the only reason why I'm doing this channel, is to share. It ain't bragging or anything like that. It's just letting people see things that's interesting. I like sharing my interests with people. That's a big old map of Kentucky, and it shows everything that was here at that time. That little circle right there is Boonesboro. Y'all have heard about that little circle, and that little wilderness, that trail comes right down right here where my foot's at and goes that way. And here's another one right there. And goes out around to Boonesboro, that there does. And this one right down here comes out and goes around and comes around here where Fort Harrod's at. Here. But yeah, there y'all go. I like it. I love that. I'm very fortunate to be born in an area that's had this kind of history, and I appreciate it so much more. You know. But we'll walk down here and look at this orange tree if y'all don't care. We won't get too close. I don't want to be too far away from the shelter, because this looks like it's going to fix to pour down rain here in a minute. I'm going to get a bath, boys. I'm going to get a bath here in a little bit. I know that to be a fact. But right there, it's starting to rain. But right there is the orange tree. I'll zoom up a little bit on it. That right there is the orange tree. You can see where they play on it and everything. It stretches plumb out this way. Yeah. They're down there playing, beating on the drums, look like. Yeah, I think that's what that is, Homestead. There's a marker down here too that it tells about it also, but if I can get to that marker before it pours down the rain, we'll look at it. I'll do anything to share things out to people. I'll do anything. Right up here is another little marker. Let me get to that first. I think that's more important at the moment. This is a marker dedicated to George Rogers Clark. Right up here. Right here. There we go. Yeah. Dedicated to George Rogers Clark, whose foresight, courage, and fortitude gave to his country the vast territory lying between the Ohio River and the Great Lakes. And it's starting to pour. Well, boys, I'm gonna have to shut it down there. I don't want to get my phone wet. Y'all have a good afternoon there, and I appreciate y'all coming in. Old Kentucky Goblin. Just stay tuned. I'll have more things down the road. I'll be up on Goblin's channel. Goblin. Storms and Radio's live tonight, so Lord willing. So y'all be careful. Take care of yourself. Stay dry. And everything else. Y'all have a good day. Kentucky Goblin, he's out. Let me see here. Let me back out of here. I don't know how you can back out of here. Anyway, let me see. I'm gonna try to back out of here if I can. We'll back at you there. Homestead, have yourself a good one there, brother. And it's the rain slacked up a little bit, but I'm still I gotta find my wife. I don't know where she hit it. Oh, there she is. I see her. She's up there underneath the fort there, keeping dry. That's where she's at. She's right up there. Look at her. She don't know why I'm filming her. There she is. She's up there against the fort, against the big wall. Alrighty then. Y'all won't tell her I filmed her, will you? Y'all keep that secret between us. But anyway, I'm gonna try to shut this thing off here. And y'all have yourself a good day. Have yourself a splendid afternoon. Lord have mercy. How in the world do you shut this thing off? Yeah, there we go.